up, everyone? Let me talk to all 0 people. Yeah, ain't no one on there. Only I did it right. Does that one thing show live or not?
It says you're live. I'm watching right now.
It says 0 people.
I'm on there.
Oh. I'm not a tech person. Oh, no, it says 1. It's probably you. Alright. Did you like it? Did you put the like button? Okay, nerd. Need to figure out a better way to do this. What? What's up, everyone? All 2 of you. Just let me see like who it is. Sorry, this is our first live figuring things out and such. Say hi in the comments. Oh, there's a couple people now. What's up, everyone? If you have any questions, throw them in the comments. Otherwise, I got a couple questions that we'll probably go over later. But I wanted to show you guys what I got today. Haha! This is some high dollar spray equipment. I did not pay high dollars for it. Oh no, it's stuck. Do this right here. Charger. I don't have any DeWalt tools, and like Graco's cordless stuff runs on DeWalt tools. So that was one of the things, or batteries. So that was one of the things that kind of kept me from buying this initially. But it came with an extra battery, and a charger, and a belt. And aha. This is the Graco Quick Shot. It's used, Facebook Marketplace, you know the deal. I don't buy new tools apparently. Can't afford to buy new tools. But that don't mean we can't find good deals. So also has a battery on it, so 2 batteries. And it's got pretty cool, it's, you know, not a huge container, but it's like a quart, I think, maybe. Might not even be that much. And apparently this guy right here is where the magic is, and the expense on this is what the guy was telling me. This gun itself, if you were to buy another one, it's like $700 in itself. So I guess that's why this whole thing is 12, depends on who you ask, but like they're anywhere from like $1,200 to $1,800 new. So I picked that up, $600, this guy. It works, we tested it. Came with all kinds of stuff. Came with some extra tips. instructions, and the bag. So, needless to say, I had to steal that and, well, pick it up. I don't steal anything. But, yeah, pretty cool. Okay. Did anyone get any cool deals on Black Friday, huh? Let's see. How did you start woodworking? I started woodworking because we needed furniture and we were broke. So I had to make furniture and didn't want IKEA furniture because that's what I had all through college and it really sucked. So, built a coffee table. We still have that coffee table. I hate that coffee table. But from there, we made it to where I could quit my job. Have you all seen this before? You wouldn't because it's a clear bottle, apparently. Apparently there's only a label on top. This is clear grain filler from Gork's Goodfella that they sent me. Apparently this stuff dries clear. And it's, it looks like glue. But apparently it dries clear and you can like stain it. So I need to try it on something. I just haven't gotten a chance to try it yet. But if it does work like they're saying, this could be really cool. If you have like heavy and you want it to be like really smooth or something, you could use this. And kind of talk too about this guy and why I bought it. Put it right here. Hope they don't break it. That's as good as that's gonna get. Haha. I'm sitting on a stool, so. Reasons why I bought this guy right here. We're going to refinish some cabinets for a client. And before, I was using like this like Frankenstein like pressure pot system. I actually have it here. Let me go grab it. So, this is what I used before, and it's literally just a pressure pot that you run air into, and it has air and paint coming out of it to this guy. Sorry, it was dirty over there. Haven't used it in a while. And it pretty much works like an HVLP gun, but because it's pressure pot, it pressurizes the paint and pushes it out the nozzle instead of like the gravity, like normal HVLPs that you see that are like a cup on top and it just gravity feeds down. So this keeps it from you having to like thin the paint a whole bunch and possibly like ruining your finish because of that. And it's also like a lot smaller than, you know, full on cup on top and everything, and you can like move it sideways and whatever. So this works really good, except you have to have a compressor, one, and one big enough to feed it. But also, it's very finicky. So like, unless you're like in really controlled environment on using it, like you could have problems with it. And for that reason, like it doesn't really make sense to bring this whole thing to a client's house. And I've used a bunch of different ones. Like I've used normal HVLP. I used briefly like an airless system before, but it was just problematic. And then I used, what else have I used? I've used like the all-in-one, like hold it and spray airless sprayers. Those suck really bad. and I've used like a Wagner like HVLP setup deal. All of them suck. Like they're not very good. Like anything that's like sub $1,000 really just isn't very good. Unless like you're willing to compromise like on the finish. So that's kind of, this guy comes into play. It checks the box of being really compact because it's a lot smaller, right? Like it's pretty much the same size as this guy, but this only has one cord going to it because it's just airless. It's not HVLP. So that's a huge plus. I like that it has a pot that I can just fill because like my biggest problem with like an airless HVLP or something like that, it's a problem in the aspect of like you have to have a gallon or something for it to like get into it. As soon as it gets like I'm trying to say, as soon as it gets like air in it, then you have to like start the whole process of bleeding and everything again. So this being that small, runs on batteries, everything, that's why I use it. Should I get a SawStop 10-inch table saw and a DeWalt planer? That depends. Do you like your fingers? Do you feel like you're gonna cut them off? Do you feel like you're careless? If the answer is yes to all those, then yeah, I'll probably get one. I don't have a SawStop. I have a Delta. It's a 735, 36, something, I don't know, some number thing. It worked good. You should definitely be careful if you don't have a SawStop because you can cut your fingers off. You should still be careful even if you have a SawStop because like anything that's mechanical, it could fail. I mean, I haven't heard of them actually like failing and like cutting fingers off, but there's times where you get frustrated because you're cutting wet wood or something like that and you have to turn it off. Then it's a normal table saw at that point, and if it hits your hand, it will cause some damage. So Blacktail Studio did a like slow motion deal showing like how it will cut you up if it's disengaged. So it's up to you. It's a big purchase. I feel like it's a lot of money for what it is, but you're paying for the technology and the safety of it. So if you don't get one, be safe. As far as a DeWalt planer, it really just kind of depends, man. I don't know what like your specific situation is. If you are gonna get a DeWalt one, I would get the 735, not the 734. I had the 734. It's pretty much like the straight up like rectangular lunchbox looking deal, and it works great for what it is. But spend the extra $100 or whatever it is to get the 735. You'll get a lot less snipe. There's a lot more like support aftermarket for it. I think you get an extra half-inch thickness or width rather capacity on it. But I ran that 734 for a long time, and it's still like it had straight blades on it. It was loud. It wasn't great, but it got the job done. I mean, you know, where do you want to spend your money? How much money do you have to spend? That's where I would be with it, you know. Throw that stuff on a spreadsheet, see what you can dig in. Could that be better spent on dust collection? Could it be better spent on other tools, you know, drum sanders, whatever? It's up to you. So, cool question though. I like tools. You don't have to twist my arm to buy a tool, but I tend to try to get everything off Facebook Marketplace because it just frees up more money. Like this planer. It's a 15-inch jet. I got it for less than what you would pay for a DeWalt because I found a good deal on it and was willing to drive and go get it. And I had a truck. So you can get some cool stories on some stuff too. I actually bought this off of a convict. Ex-convict, I guess. He was out of jail. And went over to their house to pick it up, and I messaged them, and like I looked online to see how much it weighed because I was like, man, I don't know if I need a trailer or not. And I messaged it was the lady selling it. I was like, hey, do y'all, like, is it really heavy? Do I need a trailer? And she's like, oh, let me ask my husband. Oh, he said it's probably okay, that y'all could probably get it in the back of the truck. I Googled it. It was like 200 pounds is what it said online. We get there and it doesn't start because it has a 110 volt plug on it instead of the 220 that it needs. And I was like, oh man, I can't, like, it was initially 800 bucks. It's like, man, I don't know if I can pay 800 bucks if I don't know if it's gonna work. He's like, well, let me see, how much she wants to do, and goes inside, comes back out, and is like, she'll do $500. And I was like, all right, yeah, it's sold, totally, because they're like $1,200 working, and it's like worst case scenario, I spend some more money on it and still less than $1,200 into it, right? So we go to load it in the truck, and I get on one side, he gets on the other. Dude's not big, but he's not small either, and like we're like getting up there. It came like this far off the ground. That sucker was heavy. And I was like, oh crap. And I had already paid them at this point. Like we did it through Zelle. So I'd already Zelled them money. And also like I wanted to come home with it. I'm 2 hours away from the house. So it's like there's not like there's no calling a friend or anything. I asked the dude, I said, hey, do you have any friends like around here that, maybe could help us with this? Oh, well, I just got out of prison, so I haven't really talked to anyone ever since I've been out. I'm like, oh, I see. So I Googled to see where the closest U-Haul is. It's like 10 minutes away. I call them. They say they have a trailer. So I was like, all right, sweet. And I told the dude, I was like, hey, I'm going to go get this trailer real quick. I'll be back. I'm sitting there the whole drive to the U-Haul. I was like, oh man, I hope this guy does not like ghost me, or like they both just leave for like a couple hours until I give up or something. And so went there, got the trailer, came back. Dude was still there. I guess he didn't want to go back to prison. He helped me load it in the back of the truck. He's a really nice guy. But helped me load it up and got it back home, and here it sits. Fixed it up. Works just fine. I found out there's some upgrades that you can do to it. So like these rollers, you can change these out for cast iron. Definitely plan on doing that in the near-ish future, just to help it feed a little better, be a little flatter. So, let's see. What other questions do y'all have? Tools, woodworking, general insults. They're all appreciated. Oh, thanks. Let's see. This guy also came off of Facebook Marketplace. The head on it is like slightly tweaked. That's what we kind of determined, because we tried everything to get it like perfectly 90, and it's just a little off. It's not enough to where I'm like, I need to get rid of it, but I don't do my like nicer cuts, like preciser cuts rather on it. It's still a good saw. It still is better than what I had, but it, if I had to do it again, I probably would have been like, probably not. There's some things you just shouldn't get, right? Like I wouldn't get cheap trade tools like nail guns or drills or stuff like that off Facebook Marketplace unless like you just really can't afford a brand new one. But like you just don't know like what you're getting sometimes, and those are usually like the most abused tools. So I don't do that. But yard equipment, stuff like that, bigger things, more specialized tools for like woodworking, totally check Marketplace first. That's where I would be. So, DeWalt or Milwaukee? That's a tough one, because I actually don't have either one. I have Makita and Ryobi, cordless wise. I had a DeWalt planer. I guess it kind of depends. Like, are we talking cordless, or are we talking corded tools, or big, small? So, hey, veteran-owned Woodworks. I am in North Texas, so like we're just south of Fort Worth, actually. That's where we're at. So, but face value between DeWalt or Milwaukee, I'd probably go Milwaukee. Have you seen? So I don't know if y'all follow Whitworks. Like he's up in Fort Worth or DFW area, I guess. Anyway, and he had done a review recently on like different track saws and all, and like the Milwaukee one was surprisingly pretty good. I would definitely go that route. Oh, nice, San Antonio. I have some family in San Antonio. We may have to meet up or something next time we're down there. San Antonio is a cool place. It's better than Austin. Did you go to Texas Woodworking Festival? Veteran-owned woodworks? Cordless, smaller wise tools. Yeah, I would still definitely go Milwaukee. DeWalt's not bad though. Like, don't sleep on DeWalt tools. Like, if you get a good deal or something, I would say the advantage with if you went with DeWalt is we have Lowe's or Home Depot. We don't have like that Menards stuff that y'all have up north. But you can get DeWalt tools at Lowe's or Home Depot. Milwaukee, Makita, Ryobi, like you're pretty much going to Home Depot or so. So that's kind of a benefit if you go DeWalt. Abel is cruising. Oh, hey, Chris. Were y'all there both days? We there was like thousands of people there. We totally missed you, but it was really cool. What did you think of it? Like, what was your favorite part of Texas Woodworking Festival? I don't know if anyone else like is aware, but like Texas Woodworking Festival is kind of like Workbench Con, but more like woodworking centered. It's there's more classes on like bent lamination and how to price your work, how to like operate, I guess, like your business, and like also the tools are kind of geared more towards like end user instead of like influencer type of a deal. So that's pretty interesting. I really liked it. Definitely would go back, mainly because it's so close. Saturday was the day to go. Sunday was like a good day to get free stuff if you wanted to get some free stuff, because some of them just like some of the people flew in and they don't want to fly back with that crap. So they were like Walrus Oil was giving away hats and whatever. There was some others, but yeah. Jeez. It was definitely bigger this year. There was Onefinity CNC was there. They were showing their like new. They have like a vacuum bed deal going on with their new CNC. I need to get one. I had a CNC. I had like an X-Carve. It just wasn't capacity-wise wasn't very good. If I get another one, I want it to be like a half a sheet of plywood, like a 4x4. Because otherwise, it's just. I don't have a use for the smaller one anymore. Like, I want to make bigger stuff. I want to be able to like cut like cabinet parts or like larger stuff on it. The other one I was pretty much using it for like small like cutting boards with like epoxy inlays in them and stuff like that. So we met someone from El Paso whenever we were there, and what was his name? Yeah, I'm the worst at names, so it sucks. I think his handle or whatever is like Goat Haunt Woodworks or whatever. He's retired military, so like we had some stuff to talk about in that aspect and all. It's pretty cool. Dang, what was his name? I don't know, but they were really cool, really awesome people. Carveco, yeah. It was definitely like Onefinity's kind of taking the market, I think, on DIY right now. Like, I think it was Jay. Oh, what dust collection do I have? Well, you know that song "One Piece at a Time"? That's this dust collection setup. Oh, I gotta make it over there. 1 second. the shop is in process of getting reset right now, so it's a hot mess. Here's my dust collector. Hopefully we'll have a video out on this soon. But it is a Harbor Freight blower. Harbor Freight middle section. I made the funnel. I made the filter box, and I also got these filters on Facebook Marketplace. They're for like a giant dust collector for like the military. So they were like surplus filters. And the guy was selling them dirt cheap. Like I got both of these for cheaper than one of those like top mount like normal units you see, like the little pleated whatevers. And they work really well. So initially I was just going to put one and have one as a spare, but I was like, just put both of them. They're going to fill up the same way, right? So I added both of them. I'm glad I did. Like it works really well with both of them. The CFM on it's really good. I haven't tested it. I tested it, but like it sucks. It sucks a good dust, you know? So, and it goes down 6-inch pipe, flex pipe or whatever, to a 15-gallon barrel. And you might be thinking like 15-gallon barrel, that's really small. But it's a lot easier to handle because I can dump a 15-gallon barrel a lot easier than a 30. And I have two of them because I bought two 15-gallon barrels. I bought the second one right there. So if I'm in the middle of doing some planing or something like that and it's full, then all I have to do is take off the lid, because it's just like a little band clamp thing around it. Take off the lid, throw the fresh barrel underneath it, throw that guy, throw that new one in there, and you're back in business, you know. It's run off of an IVAC switch. I mainly went IVAC because I didn't want... I read some bad reviews on the other ones, like burn your shop down type reviews, and I didn't want anything to do with that. And then, in the same breath, I built this box right here for the sensor system. So the green light means that it's empty or not full. And the red light will flash like whenever it's full. And I just built this. It was like $30 of material, and I 3D printed the box. It's got a little sensor right here. So once it's full, it goes up, flashes the light. I know it's full, and then that's it. Let's see. A tube to each tool, yes, pretty much. So it comes off, it Ys, goes up and over to the planer and the table saw. And then I have another branch that goes down over to here, band saw. This is weird doing this backwards. And then drum sander and jointer, drum sander and floor sweep go over there. So yes, but also I built it to be expandable. So right there, dang, I'm bad at this. There it is. There's a rubber boot on the end. It's just a cap. So if I want to run more that way, I can run more that way. But the floor sweep, it's totally worth it. Definitely recommend getting a floor sweep if like you can do that. So let's see, kind of disappointed me. Cats, fangirls when I saw Andy from Andy Bird Builds. Andy Bird Builds. I am not familiar with Andy Bird Builds. But yeah, I gotta look that up now. I feel like I've heard the name, but it's not ringing a bell right now. I'm also, like I said, terrible with names. I feel like I've watched something on it, though. Let's see. Katz Moses, I didn't actually say hi to him. He seemed really busy at his booth. His booth seemed crazy busy. I don't know about you, but I was this is one thing to keep in mind. Not a lot of people had, like, product for you to, like, walk out with. It wasn't one of those shows. We're talking about Texas Woodworking Festival. But it was they were like doing like deals, I guess, but like you were pretty much buying online at the show, and they were like doing free shipping for you, which I get. Like they don't have to lug a bunch of whatever there or whatever, but like it just, I like to walk away with something. Otherwise, I'm not interested. Do I have a CNC? Yes, I do. Well, sort of. I have. I guess it is a CNC. I have a shaper. So, remember what I was saying? Like, I don't want a CNC unless it's like 4 foot by 4 foot. Because the last one I had was like 750 by 750 millimeter, which I think is like 20 inches by 20 inches. I don't know. It's small. So the shaper I like because it pretty much is wherever you put the tape. So, like this guy, right? Ooh, all that fancy stuff. Facebook Marketplace. It does count as a CNC. It's the same programs. He's from Kentucky and was with the Vector booth. Vector. I need to look him up. Andy Bird. I'll go back and watch this, so I'll remember that. Let's see. Shaper does count. Totally counts. Let's see. Do you have Sorry, I'm too close here. Do you have Festool tools? I've heard mixed reviews about the brand and if it's worth the money. I do. I'm not like a fangirl of it. I don't have every single Festool tool. And I mean, it really just depends, man. Like, you could probably guess what tool I have from Festool, because everyone who has Festool has it, right? It's where's it at? I have a couple, I guess, actually. Number one was my Festool dust extractor. It's a CT15. Was super unimpressed with it. Definitely don't recommend getting a CT15. If you want to get one of their dust collectors, get one that is not the CT15. It works great whenever you upgrade the hose. So this hose doesn't come with it. It's a cheap, it's around here somewhere. Whatever. It's a cheap plastic hose. It's like worse than the one that comes with your rigid hose, rigid vacuums. And it collapsed on itself and it crushed itself and it became all memoried up or whatever. It just sucked. So upgrade the hose and it's fairly decent. I like that it turns on whenever you turn on tools. So that's really awesome. I also have the Festool, like the cheapest sander. It's like the ETS 125, yeah, REQ. Don't recommend the sander. It's not a bad sander. It's not a great sander for the money. Because you're not gonna notice a big difference between this or like a Makita or, you know, DeWalt, whatever like Home Depot style-esque sander that you're gonna get. So I would go, but that's the thing. Like the next step up from this is like $400. It's twice the price almost of this thing. So, you know, like, do you need it? You need it to sand wood. That's really it. You can get adapters to hook it up to dust collectors. And there's been, ever since I got this dust collector, there's been a ton of like cheaper alternative dust collectors out there. And like, I kind of want to even do a review of them and be like, hey, this is, you know, is it worth it? Probably not. See, that was my rant for the day. What else we got? Boss Dog Bundle, Wednesday. Sweet. Boss Dog glue, man. Get that dog in you. Yeah. Sha-sha. I showed this on Instagram, but I didn't show it on here because we didn't do a live on here, which we're gonna do lives on here on Sundays now. These are more fun on YouTube than on Instagram. Boss Dog Wood Glue. Funnel. 3D printed funnel. Aha. Check that out. So, you'll see it has a straw. That's because whenever I first made the funnel, the glue was like going in and then it was like bubbling every single time because like it couldn't get the air out. And so this straw actually helps it from, gives it air, right? So it fills way faster. So you can fill like your gallons, like refill your bottles a lot easier. Because the only downside of their bottles, right, is just the small tip. And these fit like the smaller bottles and the bigger bottles because they're the same thread and everything. It's got threading inside. So, yeah, we're going to try to test these out, see if people actually like them, see if people actually want them. But it's really cool. I mean, it's on there. So, went through a couple iterations of it too. The one with no straw. The one with too small of a straw. And that big dog straw. So, but yeah, they're running a really good bundle right now for Black Friday. I don't know if they're still doing it. Maybe they should be. I think he was doing it until he sold out. It's like every single product they have for $100. That's a deal. See, recommend getting Elite Foreman from One Infinity thing. Got a great deal. Comes with spindle and ATC. Domino, large dust extractor, green hose, very good. Sorry guys, I'm catching up. Yeah, I have a Domino. It's around here somewhere, along with everything else. See, we have the 125. We got it before Surf Prep. So Surf Prep was there at Texas Woodworking Festival, and the dude kind of blew me off a little bit. I was kind of like, I'm no one big by any means. I'm super small, but like, say hi, guy. Like, I don't care. Like, just I was right there next to the person you were talking to. You just said, turned his back. So, kind of dumb. Glue off is great. Yeah, right. He. Hey, so Chris, message me on Instagram, and I'll send you one of these to try out. Because I want to see how everyone likes it and everything. So send me your stuff. Is it waterproof? No glue is waterproof. It's water resistant. It's, make sure he doesn't say waterproof on here. It's water resistant, pretty much. Like, it's kind of like Type Bond 3, pretty much, is what I would equate it to. Yeah, I didn't say. Heck, keep above 55 degrees. I didn't do that. I'll message him though. I'll find out. Let's see. But yeah, like Type Bond 3 is not waterproof either. So like no PVA glue is waterproof. It will break down. Safe water resistant. Young big guy. The old guy, I spoke to the young guy, and like, he just kind of seemed like he was Dad's son, you know, like, he's like, yeah, Dad really did really good stuff with these sanders and all, and which is cool, like, totally, like, family legacy, you know, you're in the family, we're talking about Surf Prep, but he didn't really, he seemed like he was there because Dad was there, you know, like at least that was the vibe I was getting from him, or he just didn't want to talk to me, I don't know. Yeah. We're gonna go, I'll see you later, AK. But we will be going live every Sunday, 8:30, I think is what we're gonna do, Central Time. That's the plan for now anyway. Hopefully it turns into something like cooler. We can have some guests on or whatever. Like, I want to do this as like a thing. I think it's cool. I like talking to everyone, answering questions, and also like, it's just fun, chat with everyone. Tiny young guy. Let's see. Something much been going on. We had a full-blown comment with him. Yeah, I mean, it might have been busy. It was a big show. He could have been tired, whatever, you know, like, yeah, but like, and that's the thing. Like, those shows, like, you could totally like read one thing off of someone and it could be totally different. So I really shouldn't jump to conclusions on people. That's my bad. But their product, like everything aside from that, like their product seems really awesome. The only thing I'm not a super fan of is like the paddle switch on the sanders themselves for surf prep. And Merca's the same way. Merca's kind of very similar, it seems like, to the surf prep. But I like their sandpaper. I like that they have the foam pad and like the square one. Something that if I was gonna get a sander for like $400, I'd probably get that one over like the Festool or something like that, just because it seems like it's more durable and better built. Definitely would like to get. Yeah, man, for sure. That would be cool. We just like talking about stuff, you know, as long as you can talk about things and such. So there was, I don't know if you saw him, Chris, but there was Zinwu Toolworks. I think it's Toolworks. He was there, and we got some chisels from him. Really cool guy. I gotta find those chisels. They're really nice chisels. He is very humble. Dad was a tool mechanic. Yeah, that's what he was saying. He's a tool mechanic. The paddle switch is ergonomic. My problem with the paddle switch is that I like to flip the tool over and put the sandpaper on it, so like it's sitting on the bench. So like whenever I have a paddle switch sander, it'll hit the paddle and then it'll turn on the sandpaper when I'm trying to put it on. Yeah, the wooden hand planes, right? Getting the paper thin shavings. That was addicting. So this is Zenwell Toolworks box. And these are those chisels. And like, I don't know if you saw the short, but like, they're stupid sharp. Like mirror sharp. This is literally out of the package, like how sharp, how honed they are. And they're really awesome. And Luke, I think is his name over there at Zenwell Toolworks. He has some chisels over there that were like, they were titanium, and then like the steel was like it was like tool steel, and it was like dovetailed into the tip, which was really cool. Yeah, they're super fancy, right? I like his design. It's like, it's simple but really kind of pretty cool. It won't focus. I'm too close. There we go. And they're like pretty economically priced. They're like $300 for a set. And like the set, it's 5 chisels. Look at this tiny guy. It's that itty bitty chisel. I think it's a 1/4 inch. It might be 1/8 inch. I don't know, but it's like, it's thinner than your average chisel, like minimum on a set. Also very sharp and shiny. Yeah, really clean. Hang on. We're gonna do some live. Yeah, I think it's 1/8 inch. Oh, I'm totally not on. Haha. This is weird doing it backwards. Okay. I'm sucking at this. Anyways, you get the idea. Like, literally, like, very little effort. I'm holding both of these pieces, right? You know how unstable that is. And, just makes, it's really satisfying. So, that's what impressed me on them. So, these are the ones I used in, like, the Find a Joint Fridays now. Really nice. Hopefully we should be having some new saws coming that are going to be like nice hand saws. The company is Temple Tool Company. So hoping to have those to kind of show you guys and everything pretty soon. Anyone on Instagram see Bessie's post? So they did like a feature of our company, me, I guess. And I was looking at everyone else's photos and they were just like basic headshots. And I didn't want to do just a basic headshot because I don't do that. So I built a chair out of clamps, like solely out of clamps. And that's what we used for like I was sitting in the chair in the headshot. I posted it like on our posts or whatever on YouTube. And it's pretty cool. It came out really awesome. I was pretty satisfied with that. So yeah. What else y'all got? I got a couple more minutes. This went longer than I thought it would go. We did a live on Instagram. I think it was yesterday. No, not yesterday. Sorry, last week. And it's pretty bad. Not a lot of people over there. You YouTube people are that cooler. Saw that pic as you, yeah. Yeah. So it was fun to do though, because like you get an idea in your head, right, of like, can you do that? You know. It's like, I bet you could. Curious what area of Texas we're in. We are in DFW. We are south Fort Worth, just south of Fort Worth. East Texas. How far East Texas? Like, what's that called? Was it Tyler? Wait, like, yeah, that area or where? Yes, I did see Bourbon Moth at Texas Woodworking Festival. In one of my videos, like where I was doing like a very quick recap of it, I had a video where it was like him in the background, so I zoomed in on him and he was like staring over at me. I don't think he was staring at me, but he was staring my direction enough to like make it weird. So it was pretty funny. But we talked to him for a little bit, talked to him as well as Keith Johnson from Keith Johnson Woodworking, KJ Sawdust, whatever you want to call him. So he's a pretty cool dude to talk to. Apparently his cat was sick. He had to leave the next day. East Texas, McKinney. Cool. Yeah, near Tyler. I've been to McKinney. I used to live in Denton, and like I had some classes and stuff in McKinney, so I would drive out there. It's a long drive, just mainly because of traffic. But yeah, it's a cool area. I used to be an insurance adjuster like for a while until I quit my job and started doing this stuff full time. And so I would drive over to that area like a lot. Our headquarters and everything were like McKinney area, Plano, all that. Yeah, Tyler's pretty cool. I haven't been over there over to Tyler in a while. I haven't been to Longview yet either, Maintenance Man. But it's, you know, it registers the mind of like Longview. So Carl's corner right now. Leave it tomorrow back to San Antonio. I got you. what got me into woodworking? What's my main project type? Ain't missing nothing. Yeah, right? That's what I used to say about where I grew up. Now I go back there and it's like a full-on like city. It's crazy. What got me into woodworking? I said it at the very beginning, but I don't think anyone was really on then. And pretty much, I like to build things. Like even as a kid, I would tear stuff apart and like not always put it back together because I just wanted to see how it worked, type of deal. And so we got a house. We needed furniture. Didn't want to go to IKEA. Saw some plans from, I think it was like Anna White or something like that. And we were just like, I can make that. Make that, farmhouse was in and all that. So it's like, yeah, I can do that. And I did it, and I had an idea on like how I wanted it to look on the top and all. Like I wanted this like, it wasn't really herringbone because herringbone's like 90 to 90 type of deal. I wanted like chevrons on it, so I did that. And then we had some families. Well, my wife was like, you should do more of this for other people. And like we had some friends and all that like reached out, and we made like our Instagram page, which was just us screwing around. And we just kind of started doing stuff for people. We had the biggest thing where I was like, wow, I could probably make some money on this was like we had our realtor that we used for our house. She saw me make furniture for someone else. It was like the second project we did, and she's like, can you do kitchen cabinets? And I was like, yeah. I had no idea. I was in over my head. I started looking at YouTube videos and everything trying to figure it out, but like I wanted to figure it out. So like it was really fun. I feel like both of us kind of got the short end of the stick on that one because I didn't charge enough, and also she probably didn't get exactly what she was expecting. But that really opened doors for us, and like she's one of our main like income generators. Like she refers people to us. We do a lot of like rental property repairs and remodel stuff and like prep for like make ready. So if you're really like looking to get into like making money doing stuff that's woodworking related or like home repair related, get in with realtors, because they either need, if you just want to make smalls, they need stuff to give to clients whenever they give them or sell homes to them and buy homes. And also they probably have a secondary income of rental properties or know someone who does. So that's, I mean, a lot of people say like interior designers, but I'll be honest, like when was the last time you met someone who was like, hi, I'm an interior designer? Like not very often, if at all. So like realtors are like the working man's interior designer, because someone's gonna be like, oh, you know anyone that can do this? And they're the network person. They're gonna be like, yeah, I know someone, and they have someone for them. Or you can be that someone, So that's kind of how I got into woodworking. Main project types, things that bring in money is the home repairs, home remodel, built-ins, cabinetry, those things that are larger. This shop is more like it's a little extra money, and also it's like something that keeps me sane. I've never tried making fishing lures. That sounds like something that is very tedious that I would like have my hands cramp up on. But I've also never tried it, so like maybe it's not. I don't know. Have you, Colby, ever made any? Because I'm curious now. Do I drive a pickup? Yes. I drive, well, it's broken right now. I drive a 2005 F-250. It's a 6-liter Power Stroke because I make bad decisions. I knew exactly what I was getting into whenever I bought it. If anyone knows trucks, they know the 6-liter Power Stroke and how problematic it can be. But also, whenever it's not problematic, the thing rips. So It has larger injectors, bigger turbo, and stuff like that. The turbo went out on it, which is why it's broken right now. Otherwise, it's a Haas. And it's paid for, so there's that. 23 Tundra, though. That's pretty cool. A broken Ford. I would get a Tundra. If I didn't already have this truck and I wanted to get another truck, I would probably get a Tundra. If you want to make good decisions, probably get a Tundra. I wouldn't get, so before this, I had a Chevy Colorado, like a 16 Colorado. It's just too small. Like, you can't, I remember we were taking like 12-foot trim over to my mother-in-law's house, and like I had it, you know, cab was here and it was up here, and it was like so far over. I even had it on like a piece of 1x to like support it, and it was like tied to it. It broke off. So it was pretty bad. But yeah, cabinets are honestly like, if you're willing to make cabinets and like do repairs, like that's really where the money is at, honestly. Like, you're paying for, I guess, rather, people are paying for your experience in those things and your tools. Because like, they could do it, but they don't have the tools or they don't have the expertise. So like, they're paying for those things, which are things that you've already bought, and they're paying for materials and all, you know, type of a deal. So like, you're getting labor. It's a higher margin than like making furniture. Making furniture, like the time that it takes to make a table, you're not going to see that back versus like cabinetry or versus like trim carpentry, home repair, like drywall work, stuff like that. In my opinion, I could be wrong. But you know, it's a lot easier to price that stuff too. You can find linear foot pricing for cabinets. You can find linear foot pricing for baseboards and for drywall repairs. You can find stuff for that. Like, it's pretty standardized. Like, there's estimating software for it. There's everything that you can do to like price it easily. If you want to do a table, you're having to sit there for a couple hours trying to figure that one out. So, found on road dead. Upgrade. It's not on the road dead. It's in my front yard dead. Driveway, whatever. Taco. Tacos. Everyone loves them Tacomas, man. Tacomas are... It's an acquired taste. It's pretty much a Camry that's jacked up. I said it. Yeah, CNC work makes cabinet building a little hard. So I guess when I say cabinetry, I mean cabinet solutions. Let me explain that a little more. So cabinet solutions to me is like built-ins, things that will like not, let me see how to word this. I'm not pricing a whole kitchen. I'm not doing whole kitchens, because there's guys with CNCs that will do whole kitchens and they will make more money than me and they will price better than me because they have a big CNC that does the job for them. They use like pre-manufactured, pre-finished plywood. They use, stuff that streamlines their process and makes it easy. I come in and do things like islands that look like furniture, or like, oh, you don't like how this section of cabinetry looks in your kitchen? Well, we can fix that. Let's pull it all out and like, let's just redo the cabinets in this place and we'll paint them to match, type of deal. Well, you know, we want a hall tree, we'll build a hall tree. You want like an entertainment center across the wall, like those types of things are cabinetry adjacent, I guess. That's really where I would say like a guy with a shop that doesn't have like a big 4x8 CNC is able to get in and make money. You know what I mean? Another thing that really helps is like doors for cabinetry. Buy them, don't build them, because They're like less than $100 to buy. And I can guarantee you, like, unless you have a shaper or like a dedicated router setup or something like that for doors, you're not going to be able to price point that already made. And also that already made is like, they got it figured out. That's why they're selling them online for you to buy, you know? So a little bit of both works out great. But yeah, ready to assemble stuff. Yeah, don't do it. It's a bad idea. And don't sell yourself in that market. You know what I mean? Like if it's ready to assemble, it's probably particle board. If it's ready to assemble, it's probably got cheap like melamine or some other crap on it that's like not great. So like if you're not going to do that quality, don't price yourself in that quality, and make sure that like whoever you're talking to knows that you're not in that that bracket. Like if someone came to me like, hey, I saw this thing on IKEA, like could you match it? Like no, you know, because it's not the same thing. Like you're asking me to price something that's disposable, that's just not going to happen. So don't put yourself in that bracket, because you won't win. you won't be able to show your quality in that bracket. Competition is Jeeps. Yeah, you know, I hear that women both have to put their skirts up whenever they get in the driver's seat on them too. Let's see. Other YouTube guy from DFW. There's a ton of people in DFW apparently that are like in YouTube. So like Whitworks, Finished Carpentry TV, myself, I'm not really much of anything. There was another one. What was the other guy? There's a couple different ones in DFW, but yeah, it's interesting. And I've never run into anyone. I've never run into anyone that's been like, that I've been able to be like, hey, you're on YouTube, except for Dude Perfect. That's a different story for a different day. Knew a guy made closet built-ins for a major company. $1 million house with a $600,000 CNC. Does the $1 million of a house include the $600,000 CNC? Because that makes a difference. Bought the product for the 6K square foot hanger it had. Oh, the property, gotcha. How do you feel about the possibility of 3D printing, being able to print parts to assemble like cabinets in the future? If not particle board, it's MDF. Guy in Illinois uses top of the line plywood, hardwood veneers. See, that's the thing. Like, sell yourself like in that market of like, even bring like if you want, like bring a sample. You know, like be like, hey, see this? You know, it's plywood. This is the quality that I'll use versus like MDF. I hate being salesman guy, right? Because like I think like you feel dirty after, but if you bring something like this and you have MDF next to it and you bring a little bucket of water, you can show what they look like afterwards. Be like, hey, my stuff's more durable. Just a thought. See, I just rejoined one about the 3D printing opens up a lot of third-party opportunities for major businesses. Kind of gives the fan base a chance to really put their input. 3D printing really does something. I would say, I guess you would have to expand on the third-party thing. Like third-party as in yourself, or third-party as in like another company. I think it absolutely gives third-party as in like yourself the ability to do things that like you couldn't do before. Like no one's designing and building this unless they have a 3D printer, right? No one's making models and yeah, exactly. So like fan base becoming the third party. So like, and here's another scenario of it, right? So as you can see, I have the dust collection from Shop Nation on this saw, but it's a different color. And that's because the last one broke. But he sells his plans. So I bought his plans, 3D printed it myself, and I had another one in less than 24 hours. You can't do that with anything else. So like, I think 3D printing is like 100% here to stay. I think it's 100% something that you should be using in your shop. You should at least get a 3D printer, I feel. Let's go a step further on that, right? So, all of my Ryobi batteries, 3D printed brackets that they literally just clip into. I didn't even have to design these. Someone already made these. It was on Thingiverse and it was free. So like literally just download it, printed it out, and now I have like 10 of them. I need to get more. I have more batteries to put on there. Same thing with like the Makita ones. They have click on 3D print deal. Milwaukee 12 volts. I didn't design any of these. They were already there. Like, super easy. I did design this little nozzle for the 6-inch down here, and 3D printed that. I actually have to replace this one because it cracked. I built it on my first 3D printer. I have it right here. This is like the replacement. I can print a replacement in like an hour or a day. I don't know. Something fast. Drill holder. You just mount this to your deal. Throw it in there. You can 3D print squares for like assembly. I wouldn't use it for like measuring, but like you can totally 3D print like a little square if you wanted to just use it for like putting a box together or something. Yeah, 3D files out there are like ants. Like they're everywhere. Yeah, and same thing with like 3D reshaping accessibility, make your community 100%. Yeah, like I have thoughts in my head and I can actually like put them in CAD and like print them now. It's crazy. I really like it. I'm a nerd whenever it comes to that. What else did I 3D? Oh, 3D printed these guys. The little blocks that hold hose clamps, and that's what holds all my ducting all around the shop. So that was really nice. I did it to the ceiling too. It made mounting and routing all that so much easier. Spare parts for sharpeners. There are 3D files for spare parts for sharpeners in the 80s, I would know. Yeah. But yeah, so 3D printing stuff is super awesome, super helpful. I 3D printed this like holder for my sander, but I need to work on that some more. It's not the best. Y'all might like this one. Y'all might have seen this in the videos, I don't know. These are silicone glue trays that I made, and I'm cleaning the glue out of it because it's super easy to clean the glue out of. They're really squishy, still hold their way, they're whatever. But you can see like the Boss Dog logo in there because I was able to 3D print like a negative for this to go into, and like it made the indentation on there. So you do anything with it. 3D printer is definitely here to stay. All right, I gotta head out too. Appreciate you guys. Definitely message me on Instagram. I'll send one of these guys over to you to try out. Appreciate you guys coming on. We will be on next week, next Sunday. Send some questions or whatever over to me. We'll answer them, or we'll just shoot the crap like we are right now. I had fun. Hope you guys had fun too. Hope you have a good week. I'll see y'all later.